Clear that. Okay. So yesterday we saw about not null constraint. So we have a table over here. Home. Let's see whether this table exists. So there is no data, and we have only 3 columns. Let me do once again. I'll put phone number as not null. So I'm adding a column here now. Let's have phone number. So, and yesterday, I mean, till this time, I had only 3 columns inserted. See, I'll first come to the not null part. So now I have a phone number defined as not null here as a constraint, not null. Now what happens when I try to insert without a phone number? Okay, I mentioned only 3 columns here, so phone number is not included, meaning null is inserted. It says cannot insert a null value into a column phone number. That part I have seen yesterday. Now when I want to insert, I'll go and check what is the varchar only I put. So I put just my quiet number. It is 8 digits. Which one? Okay. Now when I do the same thing here, it get inserted. There are fewer columns. Yeah. See, this is another important factor I want to inform you. There are fewer columns in the insert statement than the value specified in the values column. Meaning like, see, first statement indicates insert into customer. I'm saying you insert customer ID, customer name, customer address. Okay, only 3 columns I mentioned. But while giving the value, I gave 4 columns, including a phone number. So it throws the error. So you need to add the phone number as well. Now you see phone number I have added. Now I will insert it. It succeeded. So now you select the data. Now you got the phone number. So you might have a question like whether I need to mention the columns always. If you remember the column order, people won't remember what columns order that created in the table. What I'm trying to say is, if you are not specifying the column order here in the insert statement, the SQL will take the default order, how you are created. You see here, this is the customer. So this is the first column, second column, third column, fourth column. This in this order it will take. Okay. Now what happens if I remove this order? I mean this column specification. Will it work? Any guess?
It should work, Naga.
Yeah, you are expert, I know. So it will work. Again, I will do insert. Yes, it worked. Good. But what is the data here? See, I have 2 records. Already I inserted. Already this is the case. But what is the big challenge in this is like you can't remember what is the order of the column until you know this one. Say for example, by mistake, if I do like this, the order has changed. Okay. Will it work? Yes, obviously it will work. Now what happens? So in the customer address place, I have replaced. Okay. See the issue over here. If you are not specifying what column I am inserting here, by default it will take whatever order it has created. Now in order to achieve the proper ordering, now I will say, see, without specifying, this London has went to customer name, this John has went to customer address. Now I can do a proper, if I mention the column names over here, give me a minute. It will be too basics for someone who already knows this. So specifying the column order is very important. Now I can specify whatever order I want. Okay, so this London is nothing but my customer address, so it should go in the second column here. And customer name. Now you see, let me select and show you the results first. See, now this record is wrongly inserted. Okay, now what I'm trying to say is, whatever order you are specifying here, customer ID, customer address, customer name, customer phone number, same values should be represented in the values as well. So now when I inserted, instead of this wrongly inserted record, I can have a proper record here when I select it. Let me see, let me show it. Okay, now you see, now you got London. Even you have a one London John over here, the column order, whatever you inserted, it doesn't matter. When you select it, it will properly insert into proper values. So it is always recommended to specify the column names while you are inserting. Okay, just you cannot skip it, because people will forget what is the column order over here, whatever you created. Okay, that is the thing. It doesn't mean anything about the constraints, just for your understanding I told you. Back to the topic, not null, we have discussed. Now what are other constraints we have? We have unique, check, default. We'll discuss these three now. I'll take primary key, foreign key later when I use joins. So unique. So now I told not null, always I need a data. Say for example, not null, I said the phone number I need mandatory. Okay, but I don't want to get, people won't give phone numbers sometimes. You as a customer, I will say like, I will not give my phone number because you will send me message, but I want the phone number by default, application design like that. So you'll put some dummy numbers over here, default.
Nagi, one question.
Yeah,
For int, can't we give any constraint like size?
integer, that is the size. I mean, yesterday I gone through this. I mean, in this website you can go and check what is the size, maximum size it will have, like
Yeah, I'm not asking maximum size. Can we define the size for an int?
now integer by default it will have its own. Say for example, let us go and check it here. It will have something like 2.3 million something. That is the maximum limit for integer. So but it is understood, it is a whole number, big int data type. So this is the value it will allow, this much value, this is the maximum size. But it is defined, it is internally understood. Small int means only 28 characters, something like that, 128. So 32768, 32,768. You can, if you type it as 32,770, it will throw error, limit crossed. It can store up this value only.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so but integer it will show this one, so no need to specify the size.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now I used to have that spelling mistake. Got you. Thanks, Rabani. See, thanks, Ragil. So phone number, I want to make it as default. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, now you saw a not null constraint. Only if it has a value, then only it will allow. If doesn't have a value, then so I need to put something in that place. So it's combination of both. It's a not null, you need to specify a value, but if someone is not specifying, make it as default, that is 999, some values, say for example some phone numbers. Okay, this is your default. Let me create and you can understand better. Constraint. create table customer constraint. Okay, now you don't have data. I will copy this guy. See guys, I'm trying to insert the existing record here. So now you see my data is created. So I have got 60031. Now what happens if I don't specify my phone number? Say for example, I'm saying I'm removing this phone number. Then I didn't specify phone number. Earlier case, what happened? It is inserting a null. When you see, when I create a column, empty column, it has created null values. Now you see default is nothing but you are stamping some values if it is missing. Some values missing, you default it. This is a constraint, default constraint. Okay, so default. And we moving on to check constraint. Okay, check is like you say like you want to have certain rule, impose a rule. Say for example, someone is registering for a college and whose age should not be greater than, I mean, should not be less than 18. So this is the rule you want to impose. Then I create a rule like age integer. You cannot default it here, but you can set a rule and you say like a check if age is greater than 18 or greater than equal to 18. So that solved our problem. So I'm just dropping and recreating these tables. Okay, just so that so all these things I'm dropping and recreating because just I want you to understand from the beginning. All these things while creating a table itself you need to decide. So that's why I'm doing one by one. So now I again created this one. Now I'm selecting it. Okay. Now I'm putting only the age here. I'm going to insert age. I have two cases, one failure case 14 and I mean it should fail. Insert check 14. Come on. Insert statement conflicted with the check constraint. So it says like it is failed. It doesn't insert a value anything right now. So if I use 22, then fine. Okay, and it has default to my phone number. I didn't give my phone number, so both constraints worked. So this is about check, default, and unique. So there are certain things like my phone number, in this case defaulted to 999. Say for example, my name should not be repeated. I should not have any other customer. The perfect example should be a unique constraint Aadhaar card. So I have an Aadhaar number that should be unique. I cannot repeat for different customers. Same Aadhaar number cannot be applicable to another person. So in that case, I'll use unique constraint. Drop. Let's keep this one here. I say Aadhaar. Again, Aadhaar is integer only. So I will put integer. Okay. I'll say unique. Just say unique. It should be unique. I'll go here, age. I'll say Aadhaar. Then I use 98765. Okay, so I have a default value here and go and copy some more values. So this is a commenting out, meaning that will not be executed. You need to put 2 hyphens. Okay, that will be commenting out that code. So I commented out. Now other, I gave 8675, something like this. Age I didn't put for him.
Age.
Yeah. So the error message will be really clear. See the error message. There are more columns in the instruct statement than the values. So I have mentioned age. I didn't specify age here. That's why. So I say 34. I will give 34 for him and 56. Now you see like each other is your unique 986, 876, 87643, something like that. What happens when I try to insert a record with the same value over here? I'll say I can have one over here. I can have repeated here, repeated here, repeated here. This guy is repeated same. Okay. When you use this constraint, okay, violation of unique key constraint cannot insert duplicate key in object. So if you see here, compare this result with this data. So one again London, John, and 2283876343. So this is conflicting with this particular record, so it is not allowing. Now I say I'll change it to 9. This will allow. Now you see I didn't impose any rules for this unique constraint for this particular column. Okay, and I had a default for this phone number, so it keep on adding the default. Even I didn't mention. If I do mention phone number, it will update. And age, I put some restriction that is greater than 18. Aadhaar, it should be unique. So if it is repeated, then it throw error. So these are the things why you need constraints. Just imagine in a business world, guys. Okay, so there should not be any duplication of other information. If someone is claiming some now you say corona claim, someone government is offering 1,000 rupees, so they will come and whoever collected, so those Aadhaar will be recorded here. Assume this guy. Again you are going in some other state and you can claim. People think like that, but if it shows as unique constraint, already you have claimed. Instead of this error message, I can show like you already claimed in this particular location, don't come again, something like that. Okay, these are the things you impose in database level that will have impact on your real business. So that is why you need to have concentrate on this constraint, how it is related to your business. Okay, I hope this example suits well. Anything else, guys, for constraints? No, right? Oh,
Nagi, it's not only for numbers. Even like in some websites, we create this with the same email ID. They already tell us like already
yeah,
it
exactly.
works
So
on the same thing, right?
exactly. So it is not for a particular number. I'm saying integer is easy to understand. So it is for the
Okay.
data type, any column. That column, see, it's for the column. So understand about the column. Column will have its attribute. This is the attribute of your column. There is nothing but your metadata. I mean to say this, the rules are for the columns, not for integer or character. Email, as you said, email, perfect. Since you cannot register same email ID in Netflix 2 times, something like that. Same
Yeah.
thing. Okay, guys. I will take this primary key foreign key little later, because while if I explain that will take much time. Let's focus on some part in querying. So working with queries, where are we in overall topic? Here we have seen this one. I mean insert, update and delete slightly. We'll discuss more about this. Now I'm going to go more deep into DQL, that is data query language select. It here it is written only select, and we will do more magic in that. For that, I will try to go some table over here because I can't do much over here. Okay, I got customer data over here. So you have first name, last name. So similarly, you see I have used the customer data over here with the minimal columns, age, customer, phone number. So in a real world, okay, you have a customer data with all these attributes. See guys, you have a customer, he's a John. Okay, now you have got customer key. Okay, this is the actual key, I mean maybe a ID for him. For this particular column, I mean this particular record, you have all the attributes, nothing but first name, birth date, marital status, all these things are belongs to this particular customer. As I said, this John is not belong to this guy, he is belongs to this. So this is nothing but your record. Okay, record or row in a table. Now so when I want something like somewhat, so when you insertion, updation, deletion, you know guys, now I want to have some queries saying that I want someone who has born over 9070, I mean 9070. So then what you need to do, like this business scenarios will come. Select star, I will put select star from this table name. Okay, what I'm trying to explain here is you have learned about insertion, updation and deletion and all. Now after insertion, what it will do, you need to access the data based on business scenarios. I want to know how many bachelors in my customers, how many married people in my customers, and I want to know whoever has not provided the email address, or whoever is male, and whoever is male and it is married or single, something like that. It should be bachelor or college graduate, something like that. So business scenarios will come, they will keep on asking the question. This is where I think my colleagues find most of the time, I mean they always go for queries. Lot of questions will come from the business and we need to query it. So the one and only statement is select. The syntax is follows as like select star. This star is nothing but, if you see star, when I highlight it displays the column. Star means all columns in the table. You can specify a single column also, say for example customer alternative key. I can select only this, but it doesn't give me any view, just give me data of it. Okay, so I can put it like this also. I want to bring some columns front, I can bring that column front, then go for it. So this is, you till this we saw about only querying like select star from table name. What about this? I mean it was like that control is it, why it was three distinction values, what are those? Okay, we'll take this later. This is nothing but for now explanation. This is database, this is a schema, and this is your table. Okay, I'll tell this later. Let
We
us
should
stick
use
to,
where condition.
yeah. You know better, I think you already learned. Just hold on. Okay, the request of procedure failed. Why? Control N. See, either I can choose, see, I can run from my SQL training schema. This is the database it's going to run. If I use this, I can access the another database also. Syntax error from select star from. It defines inter-database queries. Okay, forget about that. Just keep it simple as that. dbo dot dim customer, then where to filter whatever columns you want to filter, you need to use a where condition with, I want just say gender, I mean male customer. You put gender equal to m. So this is the syntax: select column name or star and from your table name, then where condition to filter. If you do this one, there is no filter, all the records, 18,000 records will come. Now you use where condition that will filter only male customers. Execute it. You see, out of 18,000, 9351 is your male customers. Let's go for, I'll take account here, 9351. If it's female, how much? 91. This is male, then it's female, 9133. Okay, so this is just a typical query how you need to query your database. Okay, simple basic query about select statement. Now when I have something like whoever gets more than 60,000, so these are the operators you need to learn. I'll keep this query as such. Greater than, that is yearly income. Yearly income greater than 50,000. I think this is in US dollars. Again 9,000. Maybe I will increase slight. Whoever gets most of it, 80,000 US dollars means I think it's around 6 lakhs per month. So only 3,000 people who has yearly income 80,000. Okay. So if you see the results, it filtered with 80,000 greater than. Maybe if I use equal to, the result will change 3040. Okay, 4382. So everyone, I mean to say, whoever having, instead of having greater than or equal to, I mean I can put equal to, that will give me 1000 records, 1342. Okay, you see the result now, exactly the matching. So these are the operators. Okay, like what operators you have: conditional, equal to, greater than, less than. These are the operators you use here. Let's go to the syllabus. Select statement, using strings and arithmetic operation, exploring where class with operators. And I go for top, distinct, null, etc. Okay, fine. So now you see, like just a basic understanding of gender and yearly income I saw with only one column. What happens now, whoever gets 80,000, and also I want a female customer who is getting a salary of 80,000. This is the condition. So you need to combine both the condition here. So you need to use and, just apply in English, yearly income 80 and gender equal to female. So if I use like this, this will not allowed. Always a string values should be quoted with single quotes. So I used both. So my results are drastically reduced, like 671. When I use this alone, it is 1342. So I can say like it's 1342 and female is 671. So what about your male? So these kind of checks you can make by yourself while doing some kind of work. What I'm trying to say is 671. So it's exactly same. So even male is 671. See, I got output. Before I know the data, when I subtract it, it will come. So this is simple thing. Okay, so how many conditions you can have? You can have many condition as such based on your business logic, based on the request. There is no restriction like only 2 condition, 3 condition. You keep on adding the condition. So this is like yearly income 80,000, gender male, and how many kids. I want only 1 kid or without a kid, something like that. Okay, so maybe I will add and total children equal to 1. It's like a question and answers you got using your query. So people will ask you a question, who a male person having a 1 children and getting a 80,000 salary, how many people are there? We will give this list. So what they will do using this, they will do some analytics on that. They want to promote some offers for these customers who is having only 1 child. Okay, something like that.
Nagendran, can you also tell me some specific period after which some greater than or equal to?
Yes,
Because
yes.
when
Date
we
part I
query,
didn't cover. Yes, yes. Date part I didn't cover. So I will come to here first. So date, similarly, integer, n varchar, this one, you have a date data type, like I will say date of birth. I can go for date time. Okay, date time. And I'll drop. So date you can it's little bit tricky always. You need to use the appropriate format. DD, MMYY, MM, or what I'm trying to say is either you can specify YYY, MM, DD. This is a standard format used to follow. Okay. So in this format only you need to insert. Yeah, YYY, MM, DD. So in the same example, I will specify date of birth. So how you need to specify? Either you can use the same format I mentioned, 1988, 12, 29. Say like that. Okay, I'll insert this guy. Okay. So 1988, December 29. Okay. This is the and time also you can mention. I didn't mention the time, so it taken the midnight of 29, 00000. If you born on second, no one cares about the time. I mean, typically recording, I mean in the database level, only to astrology I think we use time. Fine. So now to answer your question, so date is same like any other data type. Now I want some dates like whoever born after 1970. So here we have something like and you keep adding, no restriction. Okay, birth date greater than, you take a copy, you say like including, see this will say like including 70, I mean to say 1st of January, I mean 1970. This greater than or equal to means including this date. If you remove equal to, this is excluding this date from the 2nd of 1970. Okay, January 2nd. So include means equal to. So there are customers who are born after 1970. So there are 5 customers over here. So this is simple typical example. Okay. And date functions we will come through it now. Moving on.
Nagendran,
Yeah,
if the database has year, month, and date, and suppose
yeah,
if we need month, date, and year format, will
yeah,
this be displayed in the way which we
yeah.
require?
We need to have appropriate function. There are a lot of functions.
Okay.
No one knows the syntax. See, format param 1, param 2, and param 3, and we need to specify appropriately. See, birth date. That it can be either first parameter or second parameter. Now you see dd y, something like this. Let's try that one. Now it worked. See, year went at last. Something has happened instead of 12, something it has happened. So you can do it. Okay, it's not doable. You need to find appropriate function, then do it. Usually it will be like convert. We'll use cast. We'll use format. So in Oracle also, I think it will be format or some other function. So it doesn't matter. Just we need to find appropriate function. Everything is possible. Okay. When you see the birth date, comparatively you can see the result, what happened. So it has converted the dates, and it is doesn't convert it. Maybe we'll say something like this. Yeah, now it worked. December 17, 1976, March 18. Okay, we can do it. Fine, Deepak.
Thanks.
Yeah. So now you got again, when you want to work through the database, you always not going to work with all the columns or all the records over here. You have 18,000 or some tables contains millions of rows. It will, while running the query itself takes a lot of time. For that, what you do the sampling of records. Seeing this column definition doesn't make you to understand what is the exact data, whether some data is there or not. Okay, so always you want to see the data. At that time you can't see the entire data, so you can use top 10 records, which will give you first 10 records, so that you can analyze, understand what kind of data it has, whether people are filling the email, whether yearly information is there, something like that. So top 10, just for profiling purpose, we will use this one. Now you can ask me like, I know that I have all these columns all in place, but what about this guy? I mean, English education, or here you have English occupation. What are the different occupations I have? I want only the you see, this is repeating. I don't want like this. I'm saying, what are the different occupations? We have professionals, management, and skilled manual, all those guys. While inserting, they will keep on adding it. Okay, then I need to get those distinct values. So just you can mention distinct of that column name, English occupation, and I use this one. I will get, there are 5 different values in this column: professional, clerical, manual, and management, skilled manual. So these are the different values. So no need to go each and every record over here and see. You cannot copy and paste. You got the point, right? If someone asks you what are the things, you go and check, you take this value, then you keep on taking this value. You don't remember which one is already you have taken or not. So just putting a single query will give you what are the distinct values, unique values in this table, I mean in this column. So this is about your distinct. Then as you asked, as I told you, when you use this select statement, you always see like 26, 37, 31, 11. Again I'm running 26, 37, 31, 11. Okay, so as I said, it will collect the data based on the order, how it is inserted based on the index logic it works. But I want certain order, like geographic key starting from 1 to ascending. I mean, so how you specify? So select star from this one, where condition used to filter. I want to display the results in some order. Order key, order by. See, basically it doesn't inserted by geography key and all. You see the customer key. So based on the customer key it is inserted. I don't want to be displayed by customer key. I want it to be displayed whoever based on the earlier date of birth. Ascending order of date of birth. So order by birth date, you mention ascending. Now you see the customer key has changed 1, 2, 3. Instead, whoever has born earlier 19, 16, 02. I'll show both the results together so that people will understand. This should be top. Okay, now this doesn't have, first query doesn't have order. This has order based on the birth date. You see the results based on the customer key. Always it will fetch based on the customer key. Here the customer key changed. It picked me the oldest birth date since it's ascending. I can use the descending also. So whoever is the youngest will come first. Again it picks up from the same order. Here 1986 is the latest. So from that it has picked me. So if I want to use multiple columns, say for example birth date as well as gender, then put comma gender descending or ascending. If you don't specify anything, then it is by default ascending. So ascending in the sense F will come first, M will go next. See, if we use 2 columns order, it takes long time. Birth date descending IJKLM F. Why it's showing ascending? I need to specify. Hold on. Ascending means M is coming first. I'm not sure. Okay. See, based on this combination, in this date only M is available. Okay, and in 22nd only female is available. So it filters by a group. In this date, first it filters by date. In this, if you have multiple columns, then F will come first, M will come first. Maybe if I change this order, you'll understand better. All females will come first, then on that it will have a date. Female, female, female. Then here you have a date. Forget about this. I mean, it's just ordering how you want to query or see the data. So the entire query, entire life in SQL, you will work on this. You will have these things like select, from, where, order. So this is the hierarchy you need to follow. You cannot put a where condition before where class. Doesn't work. Syntax error. Okay, incorrect syntax. So always you remember this order of execution. Select, from, where, and order by. So this should be your flow. And in between you have before order, you will have a group by also. Okay, this is the whole SQL statement. There is no more addition to it. Group by, I will take it later. So this is the thing. Got it, guys? Yes.
Yes.